this morning I just couldn't get comfortable trying to sleep, and I picked up my phone and finally succumbed to YouTube Shorts, and I was going through them one after the other, and before you know it, it was 60-90 minutes later, and I felt like my soul had actually left its body. I just felt so dead in the brain. And when you finally put it down, you just feel awful. And usually I'm so busy I can do things, but when I'm stuck in one place, I was just so frustrated. I was like, right, I'm just going to do nothing. And it is so toxic. It is just, it warps your view of the world. It warps your view of your life. It warps you of what you should be achieving. You know, it's just, there's so many, you know, you get a laugh now and again, of course, but I think the overwhelming response I get to shorts and being on social media for any length of time is a negative one. It's not positive, definitely not for me. When I stay away from it and I'm busy and I'm doing things that I want to do and using structured time on social media, like making these videos, I'm much more content and happy in life. And once I dip myself into the endless media that is on YouTube and the internet, it doesn't do me any favors. But anyway, this video I wanted to talk about being patient. Someone made a comment asking, you know, how do you be patient for the changes to come? You know, they struggle with being impatient. They get very frustrated very quickly. And my answer to that is, you have to take a broader look on things. You have to stand back and see what your impatience is causing in your trend of your recovery. And by being impatient, you're actually prolonging this recovery process. You're actually prolonging your suffering. You're prolonging the amount of time that it takes for you to actually recover. So when you look at it from that lens of, you know, I might feel frustrated and angry, these changes aren't happening quick enough right now, but actually if you stuck to it, you will come up with a result quicker than having that impatience. Just learning to accept the day for what it is. You can't change it. You know, this is your conscious experience. If you just, you know, you wake up, today is the day. You're not going to change it. Your current health is the way it is. Your current job state, whatever it is what it is. And you have to be okay with it, because if you're not okay with it, all it does is build frustration, anxiety, and being impatient, and all it does is just create a cycle of bollocks in your brain. But if you're okay with the day and you go, I'm just going to make this the best day I can, you know, I'm going to treat myself well, I'm going to feed myself well, I'm going to go to bed on time, I'm not going to watch any junk before bed, I'm not going to wire my brain, I'm going to make today the best day I can make it, and that's all I can do. As a human being, that's all I can do in these circumstances. And once you get into that rhythm of doing that day after day, not looking too far in the future, this is what I did anyway. I found that as soon as I started looking 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years from now, the anxiety was just overwhelming. And what would end up happening is I go, I need to distract myself from this feeling because it's so overwhelming. Boom, social media, video games, pornography, whatever it is, it was always a response of instant gratification, instant stimulation to avoid the feeling of being anxious about the future and where I was going. Once you kind of understand your traits and your triggers and all of those things, you can be better prepared for the next day to then go, I'm going to make today the best day I can, and that's all I can do. You know, that's all you can do. You're not superhuman. No one's superhuman. You just do little steps every day, and before you know it, you've walked a mile. Before you know it, you walked 10 miles. And it's when you get to those milestones that you look back and go, oh, you know, it wasn't, you know, you build it so massive in your head that it's very complicated and it's very hard work. And it takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of hard work. It does. But it's not as big as you're building it up in your head. So have patience, because patience is what's going to get you to the end stage quicker. All right.